Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally going to do an updates video for you guys. I feel like I have gotten so far behind because there's been so many releases. And with that being said, I don't have an update for everything because it's just humanly impossible for me to do. And I'm also not going to be talking about anything that I've mentioned in my favorites or fails because I just feel like that is repetitive. I'm going to be talking about things that I haven't talked about in those videos and I want to give you guys updates on. I also have something new from House of Silliage, which I'm really excited about. And I have an update on the fragrance that I finally picked out. If you saw on my Instagram, I posted, always dropping something. But they sent me over a beautiful package and it also included all of these fragrances to go in one of their fragrance holders. I've been testing them out and I finally pinpointed which one is my favorite. I was putting one on every single day, trying to figure out which ones worked with my body chemistry, which ones I preferred. So I have an update with that as well. But I'm gonna start off with this bin right here. And we're just going to dive right in. The very first thing is something that is kind of old, but I have tested this out several times, you guys, and it is from Dominique Cosmetics, the Rustic Glam palette. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but I spoke about having done an actual tutorial with this palette and it did not record. I was so upset about it. The look was beautiful. Let me show you the palette. This is what it looks like right here. I had zero issues with any of the shimmers in here. They all performed beautifully. The mattes were nice. My biggest thing, the biggest reason why I even got this palette to begin with was because of these two shades right here. This one, what is the shade name? Dream Catcher. It has a slight little bit of glitter in there. You're not going to see the glitter whenever you put it on your eye, but it does blend really nicely. I had no issues with that one. However, Cactus has been very inconsistent. I applied this to the lower lash line in the tutorial that I did, and it didn't even stay there. Did I show you guys? I can't even remember if I showed you guys a look once or not. But anywho, I tested this shade out several times, and I love this color. I love it. I put it all over the lid as a smoky eye, thinking maybe it's just one of those colors that needs to be worn on its own, and it would kind of patch up in the crease area and come off. But if I paired it with some of the other shades, it would come off the outer corner. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to put it on the lower lash line. That's the one just iffy shade in this palette. I'm not going to call it a dud because I can get it to work, but it's just iffy. It's like, it's playing games with my heart, whether or not it wants to work or not. But I know at the end of the day, I was wearing it in a video that I did, a foundation wear test. And I remember thinking, wow, that shadow is just like almost gone on the bottom lash line. Overall, I think the palette is really pretty. It's just this one shade that I'm like bummed about, because it's the shade that I was the most excited about. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on that. If you don't mind there being one shade that's a little problematic, it's a nice palette to have, but I still feel like nothing compares to her original. The Latte palette, I love so much. It's such a good palette, and I even have her most recent palette, but because of how many things have come out, I haven't even touched it. And that's just, I've never been that way. There's two palettes that I have right now, the Artist Couture palette and that Christian Dominique palette. They're both sitting just waiting to be touched, and that's just not like me. I feel like everything has just gotten so overwhelming that I am buying things and not being able to use them. So I've kind of cut back just a little bit, and things that I've even wanted to purchase, I haven't purchased because there's just too much. Moving along, let's just grab in. All right, this is the Laura Mercier La Palette Naturelle. You guys have seen this in my description box a lot because I have been using this quite a bit. I don't use this shade as much, or this one, because it's a little too bright for me right now, but it's going to work perfectly for the winter time. These right here, I love these two blush shades are absolutely stunning. And then I can mix these two to create a highlight, but I've really been enjoying this because I like the texture of it. It's nice, it's subtle, it's not too dramatic. So for those days that I'm not looking to have a really blingy highlight, like I don't have a really blingy highlight on today, I like this palette. So for me, this is definitely a hit and something you're going to continue to see in my description box. I am going to fully admit that I haven't been using these as much because I don't want to mess them up. And I did purchase one more. So these are the MAC Holiday palettes. What are these called? The Star Dipped Face Palettes. I love both of these. I told you guys that I love them in my video. I will say this one right here, this is the deeper one. There's only one new shade in this palette, so just keep that in mind. Two of them are limited edition, but they are things that we have seen in the past. So I just want to mention that again. But overall, this palette is so pretty, and I just not wanted to ruin the stars on here. For whatever reason, this one right here, Oh Darling, it works on me. And Oh Darling in the original formula, so I don't have Oh Darling. I do not have it in my collection to compare the two. But Oh Darling in this palette works on my skin, whereas the original one does not. So I haven't been grabbing for it, but it's only because I'm trying not to absolutely destroy it. This one, on the other hand, this is the Light Compact. This is the one that I got a duplicate of, so I'm not really worried about the stars in this one. I've mainly gravitated towards the blushes in this one, and if you can see, this one's a little bit more worn down than this side, which I wouldn't think would be the case. You know, swatching these, I definitely go for this one, but for whatever reason, I have been leaning towards this. Both palettes are amazing. I love them both, and I definitely think that they are worth the money. But if you already have a lot of the shades that are in the deep one, I would skip it just because you don't need the repeats. Brushes. These were sent to me from, I still feel like I'm saying this wrong, Elysium. I'm not sure if that's correct, but I'm doing my very best. These brushes, okay, I'm trying to separate them because there's a few in here that are not Elysium brushes. I was in a rush. I'm always in a rush. Okay, I have an update for you guys with these. This brush right here, I recently cleaned these and then I used some of these today. Oh, spoiler, I forgot to tell you guys at the beginning. I did this look right here and I'm putting it at the end of this video. I figured a lot of you might ask about it. I really enjoy it. I've worn it once before. I wore it when I went to a haunted house with some of my friends, and a lot of people were asking about it on Instagram, so I wanted to recreate it. But I used some of these brushes, and the first one, not that I used on my face today, but some of these are clean because I have cleaned them, and then some of them are dirty because I used them on my eyes today. This is the Elysium K-I-A-N. Kian? I'm not sure. This brush is fantastic for bronzing. It is the perfect stiffness, the perfect size. I've really grown to enjoy this brush, especially with the formula like that's in the Star palette. This formula right here, it's a little bit harder pressed, it's a little creamier. This brush will pick it up very nicely. So I've been liking this one. This one is dirty. I don't know if you can tell. I have been using this around my mouth. So when I feel like I don't have enough coverage right around here, I do have a little bit of a dark spot right there, and then I can break out around my mouth. I've been taking powder and just going like this with this brush. So that is definitely a hit. And then these other ones, let me take this out. The Posse brush, this is the one that confused me because I didn't understand why there was a little nipple on there, and they reached out to me and they let me know why, and now it all makes sense. This was their brush, a limited edition brush to help bring awareness to breast cancer for, you know, the month of October. They told me that the little nipple on here could be used for spot concealing. You can highlight your inner corner, which is actually genius because I really like to go ham on my inner corner and then blend out. So getting the product on that tip right here and then blending it out with the edges, love it. And then you can also contour the sides of your nose. There's several different things you can do with the brush. Now that I know that, it makes sense, and I feel really badly about not knowing that prior. so forgive me. Then we have these other 4 brushes. I still am not a fan of the pencil brush in Clio. It's just a little bit itchy scratchy. I have washed these several times and I reached out to them, we've spoken, and they said that they were going to tell whoever makes the brushes and let them know, hey, we need to work on this brush a little bit. I love that. A brand that takes feedback is a brand I want to work with. I absolutely love that. So this particular brush is just a little too scratchy for me for my under eye application. The size of it, the shape of it is really nice, but it's just something about it is just slightly irritating to my under eye. So I don't feel any differently about that one after washing it. These 3 right here, this I used today. This is the Alva, A-L-V-A. This is a nice packing brush. It is kind of like a stiffer version of the MAC 239 and slightly larger at the tip instead of it being tapered. It's a little bit larger up here, but it does a great job, and you will see me applying this shadow with this brush and another one in the demo at the end. And it did soften up a little bit whenever I washed it, along with these 2 right here. I haven't been using this one as much. This is the Nuri. I do like it though. I like it for softer application into the crease. If you can see, it's a longer haired brush. Let me grab, say, this one is from Wayne Goss. So you can see that it is taller than the Wayne Goss brush. And this is the number 18. This is typically something I like to go on the outside corner and then work into the crease. This brush is something I will go directly into the crease with a softer matte shadow. This is not something I would want to go in and really try to work something out, because I find, not just with this brush or synthetic hairs or anything like that, just with longer hair brushes in general, when I try to do a lot of blending with longer hair, it is harder to do. However, if it's a softer formula, kind of like the Anastasia mattes, those are really great. This works really well with that. And again, it did soften up after a few washes. This one right here is the one I have been using the most, and I didn't expect that. This is the Zuri brush. You guys have seen this in several of my applications or tutorials, and I used it again today. This is a great one for cream shadows on the lid. I didn't do that today. It is a great one for detail work into the crease. So if you're trying to get a shade to go into the crease, especially if you have my eye shape, I have a lot of lid space. However, I also have a deep set crease. When my eyes are relaxed, my crease is pretty deep set. So I like to have something that really gets in there and moves product around. Something like the MAC 219 is going to do it softer. This one is going to be more of a workhorse type of brush. And so I've been liking this. So there's the update on those. Then I also have the T7 from CHIKUHODO. What did I do with it? It's underneath my leg. I used this one today as well. So you can see that it is dirty on the side. I like this for 2 things. Cream application like I did today. I put it all over the lid, and then I was able to really get this right at the crease and it not go above where I wanted it to go. I do not prefer this as a blending brush. The shape of it and everything, it is kind of like a paddle. It's more tightly packed. I like it, but not as a blending brush. I really enjoy it, especially for cream shadows and applying any kind of like metallic, metallic to the lid. You can use this brush wet or dry. I find that this will diffuse a metallic really, really nicely. So if you're looking to kind of shear out a metallic dry powder shadow, taking this on its side and going back and forth is a really nice way to use it. And that's my favorite way to use this brush, as well as, again, detail work into the crease. So if I wanted black in the crease and I did not want it to go up at all, I would use this. It would create slightly more of a harsher line, but you can go in and just slightly work out and just take your time with it. And that's how I like to use that brush. Moving along, I don't even know what I'm grabbing. Oh, okay, so I need to find the other one. This is Good Molecules. They sent me over a ton of things, and this is what I've been using the most. I have the niacinamide serum and the hyaluronic acid serum. Niacinamide is good for just about anybody. Niacinamide is something that's really going to help brighten the skin. It's going to help fade dark spots, acne, scarring, anything like that. And it really does work. This really does an amazing job, and it's so affordable. And then the hyaluronic acid serum, it's in the name, it's hyaluronic acid. It really helps to hydrate my skin. I've been using both of these. I like to use the niacinamide during the day because I really like to mix my Retin-A with my vitamin C serum. I've been kind of testing out different ways of, doing different things during the day, different things at night. I do not have my skincare down packed. I know you guys keep asking for it, but I just don't want to do it until I have it down packed. And I keep referring you guys to my very last one. That's the most accurate one to go to. But these are really great products at an amazing price. I believe they are $6, 6 or 8. I picked up 2 more of the hyaluronic acid serum during the gift card event from Beautylish because I'm going to go through this a lot quicker. I will use this day and night. Anytime I feel like I need extra zhuzh. I am almost halfway through this, and just about the same way with this one, but I'm using this one more. I will even put it underneath a mask just to really help draw in the hydration to my skin. This was supposed to be in my last updates video, and I completely forgot about it, and it is the Nars Make Up Your Mind palette. This is a palette that I actually really enjoy, and I don't know if you can tell, but I have been using this right here. My biggest complaint, as always, is that it does have Laguna and Orgasm in here. But as I mentioned in the video, whenever I did the look with this, I don't have Orgasm as a single. I don't have a bunch of palettes with it, and I don't have Laguna any longer, so it doesn't bother me. But it still bothers me that it's in everything. Everything. However, the palette that I have on my face today, there's no Orgasm or Laguna in, which I'm really excited about. This palette has gotten some use. I still like this palette. I'm still reaching for it, but I don't reach for it a ton just because a lot of releases. I do enjoy it though. I really like the shimmer shades in here. I like that this leans a little bit more on the cool side. Slightly warm with some of these shades, but I just think it's beautiful. I really want to update you guys on the Mercury Retrograde palette. This is kind of like the Tarte palette. You know the Tarte Aspen Ovard palette? I said, the first time I tried it, I hated it. And then the second time I tried it, I liked it. And then I bought a backup because I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I really am starting to fall for this palette. And this is the reason why I like to do updates, because of things like this. I don't think this is necessary if you have all of the other palettes, especially if you're not going to be using the colorful shades in here. But the colorful shades in here are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Nebula is amazing. This is actually, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is actually what I would have preferred the shade in the Pat McGrath palette to be. The Midnight Sun, that purple, this is what I wanted. I wanted something like this in the Pat McGrath formula, this sparkle, this color. That would have made me a lot more happy. I know a lot of people love that color, and it's not that it's not a pretty color. I understand it's pretty, but I just wanted more out of it, and this gives it to me. This shade right here, I live. I do think I found something similar in her palettes, the Obsession palettes. I think it was the blue one. I believe it was the blue one, the blue, I don't know. I don't remember the name of it. Check out the video. I do a bunch of comparisons. So I don't think that this palette is going to be for everybody. This is not going to be for somebody who has all of her palettes and just wants to use the neutrals. I would say skip it. I would only get this palette if you are looking for those pops of color. So I've been using this palette quite a bit. I used it the other day when I was, I did my, my video with Puffin. This is what I had on my eyes, and then I went out on another date night with him and I grabbed for this palette again. So there's something to be said about that. I do still think that the formula of like the marbled shades as well as some of the metallics are better in some of her other palettes, but just overall as a palette, I am enjoying it and I am grabbing for it. So quick update. The Juvia's Place the Shade Sticks Multi-Purpose Foundation Stick. I have this in the shade Nepal. I have not been grabbing for this because I have so many foundations that I'm really in love with. I do like this though. So if you're looking for a good stick foundation that is not too dry, this is a nice one. I left an update in the video. It was the get ready with me about this. It lasted really well on my skin. I didn't have any issues with it. I get a little shiny. That happens no matter what, like the T-zone area. Blotted away, no problems. This did not move around. It did not transfer onto anything. Granted, I do always set my makeup, but it just looked great still at the end of the day. So this is a good one. It's not one that I'm going to grab for a lot, but it is a good foundation. Then we have the Meet Your Hue Concealer from Dose of Colors. This is actually what I have on my eyes today, and I have the shade number 11 Light Medium. I have been grabbing for this a few times. I do like this. I think it is really pretty. My biggest complaint with this is that I feel like I want something that's just like a little bit more neutral. This one is slightly yellow. Not yellow as in like jaundice yellow, but it's slightly yellow. And it's slightly bright for me right now. However, wintertime, I think this is going to be perfect for me. This is not going to replace my Giorgio Armani. It's just not going to do it. But for a little bit more coverage, a little bit more flawlessness, because this has that texture that just really smooths out underneath the eyes, this is really nice. And it is in my drawer of concealers that I am grabbing for. If I don't like a concealer, or if I know I'm not going to be using it very often, it goes into a separate concealer drawer. It is in my top drawer with my concealer, so I really have been enjoying this. This isn't something that's going to be a daily for me, but just rather a, I want to look a little bit more bright underneath the eyes. I want to be, I don't know, just something different. It's a nice concealer. It's not matte and it's not dewy. It's a nice satin finish with a medium to full. If you layer this up, it is a full coverage concealer. I like to wear it as a medium coverage. And also, as I'm digging into this little bin right here, it does not end up looking crepey at the end of the day, which is phenomenal. I am so excited to talk about these and so mad at myself at the same time because these were supposed to be in my favorites and I even had it written down. I'm telling you guys, I am so busy right now and my mind is everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. But I wanted to talk about these Sydney Grace multi-chrome cream shadows. I'm going to insert a clip right now. I posted this on Instagram and I'm just going to name off the shades so that I don't get myself confused and try to insert the names on a video because honestly, I don't even know how to do that. From left to right, we have Flamethrower, Dragonfly, which is the one I'm wearing today, Pheonix, and then Alexandrite. And you can see the shift on these are so pretty. They're so smooth and just, oh, they give me all the feels. If you're familiar with Sydney Grace, they're one of my favorite eyeshadow brands of all time. They have a low price point with a high-end quality. I love their shadows. And then they recently did multi-chrome shadows. And then they released these, and these are just the bomb.com. I love the shadows, and I love these as well. I did a look using one of the multi-chrome shadows, but I didn't try to make it foiled. I wanted it to just kind of blend with the shade that I used today on my lid, which is Dragonfly. So this is what I have on my eyes right now. I cannot tell you how beautiful these are. It's something you're going to have to experience in person, and they stay. They stay all day long, and you can sheer them out a little bit. I like to have maximum payoff. I want them to be just in your face. I want all the shine, all the reflectiveness, and they I'm over the moon with these. So in case you were wondering, these are phenomenal. I don't know if these are still on the site. They are a smaller company, so it takes them a little bit longer to restock. I do have a discount code with them. It's not an affiliate code. I don't make any money or anything like that, but it saves you guys some money, and it's always linked down below. So if you're interested in these, definitely pick them up. Now on to House of Silliage. I want to get into the new releases first, and then I'm going to give you guys an update on the fragrances that I have been enjoying, and then an update on my cases. All right, so this was sent to me, and look at this box. It is so pretty. I'm keeping this box, just so you guys know. I am keeping this box. And if you're unaware of who Christian Cowan is, he is a famous fashion designer, and yeah. One of the artists he has dressed is Cardi B. He's just amazing, and his style is impeccable. And then we've got this guy right in here. Okay, hold on. Okay, I gotta get myself situated. So there's a box inside the box. This is the bow. If you have seen my House of Silliage lipstick cases before, you've already seen this bow. But yeah, it's a leather bow. It says House of Silliage and Christian Cowan on the front. And then there is this little baggie for your holder in case you want to put it in your purse or something. Look at this case. I love the checkerboard. It screams Mel. I could wear this. I'm not even kidding. I could wear this. But there's over 300 Swarovski crystals on here. The enamel on it is just so high end. This is it right there. I love this. So thank you so much, House of Silliage. I really, really appreciate it. I have a sample of the fragrance. This is what it looks like. I'm going to insert a picture. If you want to see this bottle and its amazingness, check out Michelle Wong's video. I am buying this fragrance. I must have it. I have a little sample of it right here, so I know that I like it. But the bottle, the design of it is so neat. I would buy this for the bottle alone. I did that with another fragrance that had some profanities on the front of it. I just wanted the bottle. But this is stunning. And then it has this little button which slides the thing over. The top part right here, it slides over. Check out Michelle Wong's video. It's amazing. I am going to spray this on myself right now. I tried it out last night and I knew, I was like, this is something I would definitely wear. Where's my little, I've got a thing that says the notes. You guys know I can't describe a fragrance to save my life. The top notes are saffron and raspberry. Middle notes, caramel and amyris oil. Base notes, oud. We all know I love oud. Leatrix Absolute. I'm not sure what that is, but whatever it is, it smells amazing. Again, I am purchasing this. This entire collection is limited edition, so if you are a fan of House of Silliage or of Christian Cowan, make sure that you get your hands on this. I'm a collector of these lipstick cases in general. I'm going to show you the ones that I have. I bought one for my mom. Hold on, let me show you the one that I bought for myself. It's yellow. This is the one that I use the most. I mean, do I need to say anything? So this is the yellow one. Again, 300 Swarovski crystals, the enamel, beautiful. You have the mirror, and this is a white leather case with House of Silliage on the front. And then I have the turquoise one. This one right here. This is so beautiful. It is beautiful. And they were so kind to send over 2 different ones that are limited. I have their Whispers of Truth case. When I saw this, I about hit the floor, and it has a bee on it. If you ever see Kelsey and I's conversations between each other, there's always these 2 little bees, and it's an inside joke for us, but it really means something to me. And there is a bee on this one. So you can see this one has flowers and it has the Swarovski crystals all over. Some of them, like this is a little red Swarovski crystal. There's blue, there's purple and pink, and there is a little bee. I love this one. So I don't use this one a lot because I'm terrified that I am going to mess it up. This one was released with their Whispers of Truth fragrance. The next one is the Whispers of Admiration. This is the Whispers of Admiration. I showed this on Instagram. This one is not leather. I can't tell if it's suede or if it's a crushed velvet. I feel like it's suede. I could be wrong. I should have looked this up beforehand, so forgive me. But it's basically just like the Whispers of Truth, but pink and gold. And again, we have the bee. I treasure these so much, and I'm definitely a collector. I got one for my mom, and she cried. She cried. I got her a purple one because she loves purple. I bought it at the same time that I got the yellow. I was like, I have to get one for my mom. I knew that she would just be over the moon about it. These are so stunning. And with the Whispers of Admiration, they sent me over this. Look at this. This is for the travel spray. So you can fill it up with whatever travel spray you like. And I have a whole deck right here of the travel sprays. I have not touched these because these are the larger ones that will actually fit. Let me just grab one out. I'm going to show you how it goes in. Look, there's look at the crystal at the top, and it says House of Silliage. It's so luxe. Love these, love them. And then this, you just pop right in there so you can see. Travel spray goes into your purse, the top on, and you're good. Here is the update portion. Do you see this? Do you see all, like, there's a few little X's, 2 hearts, and then one that is highlighted. This started off like this. All of these are pointed up, and then every single day I was trying out a new fragrance. And I would see how it wore through the day, if I liked the way it smelled. Some of them initially I was not sure, and then I ended up loving them at the end of the day. All of the ones that don't have an X or a heart above them are the ones that I like. I would wear them, I like them. The ones with the hearts are my favorites, and then the ones with the X's just didn't work with my body chemistry. And we all know fragrance is so personal. For an example, my favorite fragrance that I love does not work on Kelsey. And Kelsey even loves the fragrance on me. She's like, oh, I just love that on you so much. It works really well with your body chemistry. But on her, she's like, this stinks. And I mean, I'm not a big fan of it on her either. It's just body chemistry. Sometimes things work and sometimes things don't. So I'm going to tell you which 2 are my favorites. I don't even know the names because I haven't even looked at the names. I don't want to read to you which ones didn't work because I feel like, again, I don't want to deter you from trying fragrances because, again, body chemistry. But my 2 favorite are, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to leave this down below. Yeah, I'm going to leave the name right here. I can't spray it right now and tell you what it smells like. I just sprayed the Christian Cowan. I really enjoyed this one, but my absolute favorite is this. Okay, this right here. I hate not knowing how to say it. I was the same way with some of the favorite fragrances that I have now. I couldn't say them to save my life, and I had to practice to be able to say it because people would ask me what I was wearing and I could not tell them. But these 2 are my favorites, and like I said, you could see this one has a little heart on it. So what I'm going to be doing is taking that travel spray, sticking it inside of this, and carrying it around with me. Love it so much. But I am definitely purchasing. This smells so good. It is a perfect winter fragrance, and this is the Christian Cowan one. I smell the oud. It's almost fireside. I don't know. I'm terrible with, I can't describe scents. I just know if I like it or not, and I like it a lot, and I love the packaging on the Christian Cowan fragrance. I have to have it. That will be purchased tonight. Again, a huge thank you to House of Silliage for sending this over to me. I'm really appreciative of it. And if you would like to see this eye look right here, I'm about to do it. So after I say bye, I'm actually going to do an eye look. But anywho, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys. I'm going to start off this look with a Sydney Gray Single in San Jose and a Sonia G Crease Pro. I am taking this directly above the crease, and I'm going to use this as my transition shade. Back and forth windshield wiper motions. and circular motions to blend it upward. I want to make sure I get this shade all the way to the inner portion of the crease, all the way to the outer portion. So back and forth, and then again, just blending it upward. Sydney Grace Multichrome in Chameleonaire and an Elysium Zuri brush. I am going to take this directly into the crease first. Back and forth windshield wiper motions, inner to outer corner. And now I'm slowly going to start pushing this upward. I'm going to use small circular motions, but I'm also going to use kind of like this flicking motion. I don't want it to go too high, but I do want to be able to see this shade whenever I lay down the cream shadow. So I want it to be able to peek through. So just lightly bringing it upward and creating a rounded out shape, because this is going to be a smoky eye. I'm going to go right around the edges with the original Sonia G Crease Pro. Just make sure everything is nice and blended. Sydney Grace Multichrome Shadow in Dragonfly. I'm going to put a little bit of that on my dish. I want to show you guys two different brush applications on the lid. So I'm going to go in first with the CHIKUHODO T7, and I'm going to grab a little bit of the product. Got it on my brush. Now I'm going to go directly onto the lid. First, kind of spreading it out, tapping motions. Look at that. I'm going to swipe and tap again. I want to kind of bring this up into the crease a little bit. I'm going to allow that to dry down a little bit, and now I'm going to go in with an Elysium Alva, A-L-V-A brush, and I'm going to do the same thing, kind of tapping, and then swipe, tap again, going all the way up to the crease. I want to give that some time to dry down a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead on the lower lash line, same cream shadow, MAC 219, and I am placing this along the lower lash line. I'm going to forewarn you, you need very little product. The very first time I wore this, I went too ham. I used too much product, and it was like way down here. It's better to build than it is to go in with too much right away. Going back to the top, I'm going into the crease with that cream shadow, and this is where I'm going to blend upward a little bit. I wanted the lid, sorry, always can't speak, forever can't speak. I wanted the lid to dry down so that it didn't lose any of its intensity, and then I wanted to take that shadow and bring it into the crease and just kind of fluff it upward. You can also do this with the multichrome shadow, just the powder version, and use it wet. That's what I did the very first time, but I wanted to see what happened if I did it this way. Both versions are beautiful. Love her multichromes, especially the cream version though. The cream version just... Sydney Grace Tangy Citrus, using that on a MAC 242. Highlighting the brow arch. I changed my mind. I think I want to go in with Major. Tangy Citrus has a little bit of a slight green undertone to it, which plays nicely with the other shades. However, I'm a little bit darker right now, and I feel like it comes off just a little bit more white. So Major is going to add a little bit more yellow green on top of on top of Tangy Citrus anyway. That yellow is going to kind of make, yeah, I like that better. It's going to make it look a little bit more I finished off the look as always with Milk Boss liner on my top inner rim and then mascara. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I hope you guys enjoyed the entire video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.